Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
Get the funds you need now, just in time for back to school with Courts Ready Cash. Plus, if you apply before October 3rd, you will be entered for a chance to win your loan free. That's right, when you take a loan for school expenses from Courts Ready Cash, you could be the lucky winner of up to $10,000 of your loan amount. Also, when you visit us during the month of August, you may receive free gifts like back to school essentials, gift vouchers, Courts Cash, Radio Shack coupons, and much more. Visit your nearest Courts or Ready Cash location or apply online at readyfinancecaribbean.com. Conditions apply. Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Offer ends October 3rd.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News, brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, St. Vincent and the Grenadines subscribes to a one Chinese civilization policy. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who said while this is an issue that he has addressed before, he finds it necessary to restate as it is an important foreign policy issue. We hear more from Prime Minister Gonsalves.
I just want to give a broad frame. You've heard me on this before, and I want to restate it. And it bears restating over and over again because sometimes people don't hear you. It's an important foreign policy issue. St. Vincent and the Grenadines subscribes to a one Chinese civilization policy or framework, not a one China policy, a one Chinese civilization, which civilization has different, more than one, legitimate political expressions. And those legitimate political expressions take the form of a state, or it may take the form of other organizations. So there's a legitimate political expression on mainland China. There's one in Taiwan. There is a legitimate political expression in Singapore of the Chinese civilization.
Prime Minister Gonsalves noted that the Chinese civilization is 6,000 years old. The Prime Minister said that even if the conflict continues for another 100 to 200 years, it will be but a small period in the civilization's history. He said it is his hope that they decide to settle the conflict in a way that is peaceful, and that if there is to be a full-blown war across the Taiwan Straits, it will have harsh effects on SVG.
All I'm urging is that whatever differences you have, you settle them peacefully. You don't have a war across the Taiwan Straits. Because if you have a war there, potentially is World War III, or whatever number that World War would be because of instability in all kinds of different places. And the impact on us would be tremendous, bad, adverse.
That was the Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves speaking during a press conference at Cabinet Room on Tuesday. China has held its biggest ever show of military force in the air and seas around Taiwan, including the firing of ballistic missiles. Prime Minister Gonsalves has called these military exercises wrong, disproportionate, and unnecessary, saying that they have opened the door to greater dangers. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Trust, via an official release, has advised the Vincentian public that effective August 15, 2022, the Fort Duvernay site, also known as Rockfort, would be conducting repairs to its site. As such, the public is hereby asked to cease and desist from entering the Fort Duvernay site. The National Trust, in their release, cautioned that persons entering the site will be doing so at their own risk. This is as a result of the existing conditions, which are extremely dangerous. According to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Trust website, Fort Duvernay, also known as Rockfort, was built in the 1790s and towers over Calico Bay and Indian Bay. Its guns sit on a 58-meter volcanic plug that sticks out of the sea on the windward side of St. Vincent. The fort was built to protect the colonial hub of Calico, where sugar was loaded onto ships bound for English ports. Still on the local scene, there has been more than one attempt made to compromise the telecommunication systems of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This was disclosed by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves earlier this week. Gonzalez at the time said he was not pointing an accusatory finger at anyone while disclosing that evidence had been discovered of the attempts. We'll hear more from the Prime Minister.
I want to say something without pointing an accusatory finger at anybody. Several weeks ago, and subsequently to several weeks ago, evidence has come to the attention of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that there has been more than one attempt to compromise our telecommunication system, including data. Don't ask me a question as to how we came by the evidence. Don't ask me how was that confirmed, except to say that we commenced the process of taking corrective action. It's not everything which happens I talk about here.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. Prime Minister Gonzalez, during his address, assured the public that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will continue to defend SVG's sovereignty and independence, as well as continue to uphold the fundamental principles in the United Nations charters. On to news in the region. Trinidad and Tobago's monkeypox caseload remains at zero as two more samples returned negative. This was confirmed by TNT's Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram, who was speaking at the Ministry of Health's media conference on Wednesday. Dr. Parasram told the journalists that the country has submitted 11 samples to date, all of which tested negative for monkeypox. According to TNT's CMO, samples are sent for testing once they are referred by clinicians at the Regional Health Authority after they are seen by the dermatology consultant. The US-based Center for Disease Control CDC notes that monkeypox is a rare disease caused by infection with the monkeypox virus. It is part of the same family of viruses as variola virus, the virus that causes smallpox, and is transmitted from animals to humans. Though monkeypox symptoms are similar to smallpox, monkeypox is milder and rarely fatal. It is also not related to chickenpox. President of Guyana, Dr. Irfan Ali, arrived in Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday for an official 3-day state visit. He arrived at Piarco International Airport on Wednesday afternoon along with his wife Arya and son Zaid. He was greeted by TNT's Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown, Trade Minister Paula Gopi-Skun, and Tourism Minister Randall Mitchell and Agriculture Minister Kazim Hussein. During his visit, Ali will attend several events, including a courtesy call with Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. He will leave the country on Sunday. On the international scene, a huge explosion has ripped through a crowded mosque in the Afghan capital Kabul, killing 21 people, police say. Another 33 were injured, Kabul police spokesman Khalid Zadran said. Wednesday's blast occurred during evening prayers. The mosque's Imam Amir Muhammad Kabuli is reported to be among the dead. It is unclear who was behind the attack a week after Islamic State IS militants killed a pro-Taliban cleric in a suicide bomb blast also in Kabul. Security forces have now sealed off the blast scene in Kabul. Witnesses described hearing a powerful explosion which shattered windows in nearby buildings. And finally, in sports, British number one Emma Raducanu produced another eye-catching display as she thrashed former world number one Victoria Azarenka less than 24 hours after beating Serena Williams. Raducanu continued her preparations for the forthcoming defense of her US Open title with a win in Cincinnati. The 19-year-old played Belarusian veteran Azarenka just 18 hours after beating Williams, who will retire after the US Open on Tuesday. Raducanu faces Jessica Pegula next. The Briton, ranked 13th in the world, will meet the American 7th seed in the last 16 of the Western and Southern Open today. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 p.m. for WEFM's 3 p.m. News. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
This summer, go outside with a brand new AKT motorcycle. You can hit the road with an AKT bike for as low as $5,999. With the purchase of any AKT, you get a free True Rider chest bag plus a free tank of gas. It doesn't get any better than this. No cash, no problem. With Quartz Ready Finance, you pay zero down and pay nothing for 60 days. Shop online at shopquartz.com or in store. This offer is good for a limited time only. Conditions apply. Quartz, bringing value home.
A storm or hurricane can cause